Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my May update in my Shop My Stash Project Pan series. In this project, I pull out different products from my collection to work on for about a month, and I track how many times that I use them, and I have to use them at least 5 times before I roll them back into my collection and pick out new products. That's why I call this a Project Pan, because there is a usage threshold on all of these products. I like to use them at least 5 times. Some of them I use way more than that. Some of them I just barely hit 5. If I don't hit 5, I roll the product into the next month until I do hit 5. Although this month, everything has hit the 5 uses, so I'm going to be rolling everything out of this project and selecting all new products to roll in. But it's super simple, that's pretty much it, and it's just a good way for me to focus for a time on some different products in my collection, because if I was just always just picking from my full collection, which isn't very big, but big enough that if I was always picking from my full collection, I would definitely neglect some products. And so this is a way to not ensure that I don't, but it definitely helps me to use all of my products, or at least try and use all of them throughout the year. So that's why I like doing it, and it's fun. And it's just another way to see and make progress. So with all of that being said, how this video works is I will talk through the products that I have in my current rotation, and then I will put them all back, and then we will go ahead and select new products to work on for next month. All right, starting off with base products, I had 2 in this rotation. So I had my Makeup Forever HD Skin foundation, and I used this one 5 times, so I just hit the 5 uses on this. And that is because I've been definitely way more into using something a little bit lighter on my skin. So I also had in here this Tarte C Hydro Flex. This is a serum foundation, so definitely a lot lighter, and I used this one 14 times. I will say though, one of the things that I didn't like about this was after it was on for a while, especially when I was wearing it at work, it would make my skin look really greasy. So I loved how it applied at first, but I didn't love how it wore. Now it is warmer out now, so maybe that played a big part of it, but I definitely prefer my face to look a little bit more matte. And so I didn't love this like towards the end of the day, but also I really wasn't into wearing like a full coverage foundation. I was definitely preferring that lighter coverage. So that's why I was gravitating towards this one more. But like I said, I didn't love how it made my skin look at the end of the day, whereas this one, you know, held up a little bit better. But that is the usage that I got on both of those, and happy to put them back in my collection and select a new foundation to work on. Next one is the product that I use the most. So this is my Marc Jacobs bronzer. I used this one 24 times, and this is an interesting product. As you can see, the pan size is very large, but there's a definite dip going in this product, and I'm so curious on when I will actually hit pan. I think it'll take a very long time to actually use up the entire product because there is so much of it in here, but I feel like I might be getting close to hitting pan, like right through the center, so that's pretty exciting. And the 24 uses this month definitely helped me get even closer. A product that I used 23 times that I feel like absolutely no progress can be seen on is my Jaclyn Hill highlight palette. I have probably used this hundreds of times over the years, and I feel like you can't tell that I've even touched this product. This one right here came broken, so like that looks a little bit used because it broke, but otherwise I feel like you can't even tell that these highlights were ever dipped into. Now, one thing I will say, I don't concentrate in one spot. I take my brush and I dip in all 4 just to kind of use them all. Really, other than that, I feel like there's just been like no progress in here. And I just, again, used it another 23 times this month. So I might have this product until I need to throw it out versus being able to ever finish it, but that's okay. Definitely get your money's worth out of that. So I also rolled in this OG blush in the shade Topaz, and I used this 5 times. So how I would wear this is I would dip my brush in it and then apply it to my face, and then put my powder, and then put my powder blush on top. And I really like how that looked. I am still just starting to dabble into like cream and liquid products, which I know I'm like way behind the times on. It's just, they've never been my favorite. So I'm like trying it out and seeing if I like them. And I do like how this looked. I thought it looked really nice. sometimes a little bit too blushy when I layer my other blush on top, but just on its own, I thought it looked great. So I was happy to kind of get those 5 uses on it and test it a little bit and see how I thought about it. And since I did like it, it's definitely something that I will continue to wear. And then the last 2 things that I had were 2 lipsticks. So the first is my Oma lipstick in the shade Coretta. And so I use this 7 times. This is such a beautiful lipstick. I really love the formula. I just love the whole packaging of these Oma lipsticks. I'm really just impressed with them in general. And I did enjoy wearing this one. So got 7 uses on that. And then I also got 7 uses on this lipstick. This is my Dose of Colors lipstick in the shade Parfait. And like I said, I used this 7 times. I don't even think before this video I've ever used this, or only a couple times. So it was good to get 7 uses on this. And this was a really pretty color, and I was glad that I rolled it into this project. So really happy with all of the usage on all of the products that were in this rotation. I really enjoyed everything for the most part. So it was nice getting to work on all of these. I'm gonna go ahead and put them back into my collection, and then we will select new products to work on for the next month. Okay, starting with base, I think pretty obviously I'm going to pull in my Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer because I really am enjoying having a lighter base, and it's just this one and the one that I was just using that I have in my collection. So I'm gonna pull this one in. I also wanna pan this one this year, so having some extra usage on it through this project is just only gonna help me. And I feel like we're getting pretty close, like you can already see through it right there. So I'm just gonna put this in so I continue to get some more usage. And I think I'm also gonna roll in my OG Sculpted Complexion Stick that I have as well, just for if I want a fuller coverage, or also I can mix these 2 together. So that is my plan on that. I don't need any face powder because I'm working on my Hourglass face powder in my project pan. And then I do need a bronzer. So I'm leaning towards this Milani bronzer. I feel like, obviously I just used the Marc Jacobs bronzer, and I feel like recently I used my Guerlain bronzer, and I'm not gonna use any stick bronzers, but I do think that this Milani bronzer would be good for this time of year. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull that one in. And then I do think I'm also going to pull in a couple of highlights. So I'm wondering, for my powder highlight, maybe I'll do my Becca highlight in Champagne Pop. This is always a classic and a great one to use. So I think I'll pull that one in, but then also it's just getting warmer and I'm like wearing more like tank tops and stuff. And so sometimes it's nice to have like a stick highlight to put on my collarbones or my shoulders. I like really love how that looks in the summer. So I think I might pull this one in. I have some events coming up, concerts and evenings out with my husband. So I think this could be a good addition to those outfits and everything. I was going to not pull a blush in because I'm working on my blush right here in my project pan, but to be honest, sometimes I don't want to wear that blush. I've just kind of gotten to the point where I'm like, I don't always love pulling for it. So I am gonna give myself another option and just focus a little bit on something else. So I'm debating between either this one from Ciate London or this Buxom blush, but I think I'm gonna go with the Ciate London one. And then I also, this kind of leads me to another thing that doesn't really make sense because of what I'm working on in my project pan. I'm working on my e.l.f. setting spray in my project pan, but again, like I mentioned, I have a bunch of different things that we're doing, and sometimes I need the heavy duty setting spray. So I am gonna pull in my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray because this locks my makeup like no other. So that is why I'm gonna pull that one in. And then I also am thinking about lip products, and I'm working on a lip gloss in my project pan. So I do think I'm just gonna focus my time in terms of lip gloss there. But I do want a lipstick. I feel like I just had this one in the project, but it is just like the perfect lipstick for me. So I think I'm gonna pull this one back in. This is Lipstick Queen in The Truth. So I think this one's gonna make its way back into this project. And then maybe for something a little bit brighter, I will work on my Jaclyn Hill lipstick in the shade Mom. I love this one, and it's just like a little bit brighter of a color. So I'll pull that one in as well. I think that is it. So let's quickly talk through what I've selected. Quick roundup on all of these. For base, we have the Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Tinted Moisturizer by ColourPop. For something a little bit lighter, for something for a little bit more coverage, I have this OG Sculpted Complexion Stick. For cheek products, I have this Milani Bronzer, Ciate London Blush, and then Becca Highlight in Champagne Pop, as well as this Trestique little highlighting stick. I'm also pulling in my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Setting Spray. And then for lipsticks, I have this one from Lipstick Queen in the shade The Truth. And then I have this one from Jaclyn Hill in the shade Mauve. So that is my Shop My Stash for this month, and excited to start using all of these. So thank you all so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope you all have the best day, best week, and that you're all doing well and staying safe. And I will talk to you all in my next video. Bye.